Okay, hold on. Let me write that down.
The concept of God, I think, is two different concepts. You have one supreme being, and then you have different types of gods. In other words, every black man and woman is a god. So, in other words, for example, Tiger Woods is the god of golf, you know.
So we're talking about Allah then, specifically.
Yeah, you're talking about the supreme being. Yaqub was not the supreme being.
Oh.
So he was one who had more knowledge than other ones, because there's a group that have more knowledge. In other words, you have minor scientists, you have major scientists. You have the 24 elders, or the 24 scientists, 12 minor, 12 major. They were all gods, but there was one supreme being. So I think there's a. So
who was the supreme being during the time of Yaqub?
I don't think that was ever known. I don't think that was ever taught. I don't think the messenger ever taught that. So who was the supreme being during the time of Yaqub? I don't think that was ever known. I don't think that was ever taught. I don't think the messenger ever taught that. So who was the supreme being during the time of Yaqub? I don't think that was ever known. I don't think that was ever taught. I don't think the messenger ever taught that. So who was the supreme being during the time of Yaqub? I don't think that was ever known. I don't think that was ever taught. I don't think the messenger ever taught that. So who was the supreme being during the time of Yaqub? I don't think that was ever known. I don't think that was ever taught. I don't think the messenger ever taught that. So who was the supreme being during the time of Yaqub? I don't think that was ever known. I don't think that was ever taught. I don't think the messenger ever taught that.
But the Holy Quran said that Allah neither begets or he neither begets or is begotten, and Farad Muhammad had a mother and father.
In regards to the
the whole label as Allah. You know, if you label God as Allah, it says that he doesn't beget or he's neither begotten.
Correct.
But Farad had
he had a mother and father.
Right. So he was begotten.
We teach that God. Correct. We teach that God is physical. He's a man. That he's not a spirit. So when the Quran refers to he's neither beget nor is begotten, he's referring to as far as the knowledge and wisdom. In other words, we believe that God can only be God through knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. He has to study. Master Muhammad wasn't born God. He wasn't born that. He became Allah because through study and teaching, through that, he became the supreme being. In other words, he became the most knowledgeable on the planet, the most knowledgeable within the universe. So prior to that, and it's basically also referring to what the Muslims reveals a false charge of Jesus, of the followers of Jesus, claiming that Jesus is the Son of God, when Jesus himself never made that statement.
I don't care about this. This is my question for you. If Master Farad Muhammad, if he's only good for a certain time period, why should I worry about him? Why shouldn't I go ahead and prepare for the next God to create man?
First of all, he's in the time period that you live in. That's number one.
So was Yaqub.
Number two is that I told you he's referred to as the one. He's referred to as the Mahdi of the Muslims, the Messiah of the Jews, and the Christ of the Christians. So he is the one. He is the one that we state that is the one who is to bring the kingdom of heaven here on earth. Okay, he is the one to usher in that new age.
Listen,
okay, he's that one.
You're using religions that are false.
I'm not using religion. I'm just explaining to you where we see him at.
What if the Bible
if you're wondering where he's at, that's where we see him at.
Wait a minute. Why are you going back? Why are you using my Bible and the words that it talks about and the prophecies that it makes to add them into yours?
Because each one builds upon
each current one builds upon the previous one and expands upon it. That's what we believe. We don't believe that this is the difference in the concept. We don't believe that there's one mystery God. That one mystery God then sent different prophets and messengers, and they all came from different sources. Don't believe that. What we believe is that there were minor prophets, there were major prophets. Major prophets being Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, minor prophets like Ruth, Isaiah, different things like that. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So each one had a particular message for a particular people sent to them by a different God.
Okay.
For a different specific reason and purpose.
Whose message was sent through Moses?
But each one was expanded. Each one was built upon the foundation and expanded. For example, Jesus' teachings were different from Moses, which is why the rabbis had such a problem with Jesus.
Wait a minute.
They had a problem with him.
Brand asked a good question to you. Whose teachings were
These were messengers of God. Which Allah? Which one?
I'm sorry, what?
You're saying that these prophets were sent by Allah, a different Allah at a different point in time.
Correct.
Who was the Allah who sent Jesus and Moses?
I don't know.
Why does it matter?
You asked me what his name was? I don't know.
Why do their teachings matter then at all if these other Allahs
because we accept the fact that he came from God. I don't know his exact name. No, I don't.
So the white man
but the point of the matter is, the God that sent Jesus is no longer with us. This is the difference in the concept that we have. The God that would sent Jesus is no longer with us.
Right, but you said that when people die, they're dead. There's no coming back.
Yeah, so what? I'm telling you where he came from. He's coming from a spiritual standpoint, talking about the second coming of Jesus.
But y'all don't believe in spirits.
We don't believe in spirits, man.
I said we don't believe in spirits.
So,
but we believe.
So what is spiritual?
Spiritual meaning that really more of like a theological type of study. In other words, the theological understanding of the books, talking about second coming of Jesus and all that, is coming from a theological standpoint, meaning that Jesus saying he would come again, but we teach that that's not actually Jesus himself. That is a type of a man that will come in the latter days.
Okay.
It's basically a theological expiation of what's being taught.
I just want to know about Baby G, but that we can get to that later.
Well, here's my question on the subject. Okay, you're saying that he was pretty much just saying.
What does that have to do with anything?
The whole idea about the second coming of Jesus and Master Fard being the second coming of Jesus.
Yeah.
He was saying that, yes, I am, but who else knows that but yourself?
Right.
And be quiet.
Second coming of Jesus, meaning that Jesus coming back to be the Christ and to actually do the work of destroying the devil. That's what he's talking. That's what he's referring to.
Okay, but Master Fard Muhammad didn't do that.
Master Fard Muhammad didn't do that, but he's what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches that he is yet to do it.